Hello, students, and welcome to today's virtual college exploration. We're here with Wilmington College. So today our panelists are not able to see you or hear you because your camera and microphone have been set to the off mode. However, you can ask as many questions as you'd like using that Q&A button located at the bottom of your screen. As always, we ask you to sign up for as many sessions as you would like. You can view the schedule and the sessions at oacac.org. And please note that this session today will be recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Steve and Jess from Wilmington. Have a great session, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. Let me share my screen with you real quick. Just to introduce myself, my name is Steve Sukavecki. I'm a senior admission counselor here at Wilmington College. I work with students that are interested in business, accounting, comm arts, and sport management. Here at Wilmington, each counselor that you would have works individually with those students, whatever major that they're interested in. So we have them from different areas, such as my colleague that's with me now. I'm going to let her introduce herself and talk a little bit about what her majors are. You're on mute.
Thank you, Steve. Now, hi, my name is Jessie Madzia. I'm an admission counselor here at Wilmington College as well. I work with students that are interested in education and humanities. Like Steve said, we all have our little areas. So those are my two majors in academic areas that I cover.
Just to get started, I'm going to talk to you a little location. We're here in Wilmington College, Ohio. Our location is we're about centrally located 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, about an hour and 15 minutes to Columbus, about 45 to 50 minutes to Dayton. So we're kind of centrally located right there in that area where there's still a lot of different travels, a lot of areas. If you live from out of state and need to fly in, we have an airport in Cincinnati. We have one in Newport, Kentucky, just right over the border. We have one in Dayton. We have one in Columbus. So there's several different ones there within the area, within about an hour distance that you're able to come in and visit, or if your parents are flying in to visit you, or if you need to fly in or out. I'm going to share a little slide with you real fast, just to show you what our campus does look like. This video, I'm going to kind of talk through it a little bit, just to give you an idea what our campus looks like, because we are located on our campus is on a 65-acre campus. We have a 267-acre farm as well. So I'm going to pause the video throughout. This video right here leading up to that, that's called College Hall. College Hall is the oldest building that we have on campus. College Hall is located with our business department, our business offices in there, our president's office is in there, our admissions office is located in there, and our education classes take place in there as well for students. That building was built in 1865. It first opened in 1870. My first graduating class being in 1875. So we're celebrating 150 years this year of Wilmington College. This is the front view of it. It's our library. This gives you a little bit of a better look of what our campus looks like, just to look out. If you're standing outside of College Hall and you were to look across campus, you can see every building that we have on campus. On the back side, we'll get to that here in a little bit, but that's more of our athletic side where we have our field, we have our arena, we have our CSS, our Sports Center for Science over there. But this kind of tells you the area that we have. And what's good is that with everything being located in one part, as you can walk from one side of campus to the other, anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes. A little bit more of an aerial view. We have 4 dorms and we have 2 apartments as well on campus that the college does own. This is one of our camp dorms right there. That's marble. This is Pyle. So with Pyle Hall, or Pyle Center, that's where our top is located. That's our main dining hall for all students to eat at. The breakfast, lunch, dinners, late night events that we have in there. We can have people come in there and do music shows. They do have comedies in there. Below, we have a basement. We call it the underground. And there's several things down there as well. There's ping pong machines. There's pool tables. There's video machines. There's a TV. There's a lounge area for students to go and to kind of hang out and be able to talk. It's also a good area for commuters. If a commuter's driving in, they have a class, like an hour or 2 break between classes. It's somewhere they can kind of go hang out and, enjoy time with friends or just, relax or study. And we also have our bookstore that's located in there. Our student one-stop is located in there as well. That's for all your financial aid needs. If you have any questions before or after, even when you're on campus, that's a place to go and talk with the ladies that work in that office. They work really well with our students. Our Dean of Students is located in that office. Our Multicultural and Inclusion office is in there. Our mailroom's in there. So it's more, that's why we call it our, student one-stop area, the Pyle Center. This gives you another view of our other side of the campus, looking back towards College Hall. So you see the Carillon Bell there that we have. That rings every 15 minutes. That's a great place for students to come and take pictures. During the wintertime, that's probably one of my favorite places to look at because the way the snow falls onto it and the lights behind it and hearing the bells, it's pretty cool. So this is our Boyd Culture Art Center. This is where we hold all of our theaters. So any theater productions, guest speakers, things like that, we have them come to this. Also, you're going to have some classes that we have in there. We have a Harcum art gallery that's in there as well for students to display their art, some of their projects that they do. We have local artists that come in there as well to do that. If you notice over to the houses over to your right between the two buildings, that's one of our campus security house. We do have 24-hour campus security that we have on campus. A couple of years ago, we were rated #2 in the state of Ohio for the safest campus out of the small colleges. One thing that we always tell students, if you're studying over at the library at 10 o'clock at night and you don't feel comfortable walking across, one of the paths to go over to your dorm, you can call campus security. They'll come pick you up. And that's not an issue, but we do have a lighted campus that's always lit, during the night and during the early morning hours as well. We have these posted. These are signs that we post all over campus with our hands-on learning, hands-on living, and we'll talk about that a little bit as we get into some of the majors as well. It's our Center for Science and Agriculture. That's one of our newer buildings. That building is actually about 4 years old now. That houses, any of our biology, chemistry, ag classes, but all students will have a class in there. No matter what your major is, there are some classes that you'll have because there's some theater style seating in there for the bigger classes. We also have on the 3rd floor, there's a full kitchen in there for anything that's like when they have like a food policy class and things like that. This right here is our Herman Court. Jess, do you want to talk a little bit about the athletic side?
Yeah, absolutely. So Herman Court is our home court for our men's and women's basketball and volleyball. Also, our pool is in here for our men's and women's swim teams. The weight room is also located in Herman Court. The weight room is open to all students at certain times of the day. So it's not just for student athletes, it's for all students on campus. You can go over there, shoot hoops, even if you're not an athlete, or play in the gym and hang out with some friends. Student athletes that take up our campus are about 49%. So you're not going to be the first student athlete on campus or the last. Other students are doing what you're doing if you are a student athlete. This is our home field for football and soccer and lacrosse. The turf is brand new. We just laid it this summer, so that's super exciting for our athletes for this upcoming spring when they finally get to play. Same thing, the field is open, the track is open for all students to go utilize. But really cool environment on game days here at Wilmington. Behind the pine trees, behind the football field, is baseball and softball as well. So those are where those athletic fields are located. This is the Center for Sports Sciences. There is 2 athletic fields here as well. We have our outdoor turf that is open, has lights, so students can use that. Also inside the Center of Sports Sciences is another athletic indoor turf field for during the winter when it's snowing for our students to go utilize. Once again, you do not have to be a student athlete to use those facilities. Also in the Center of Sports Sciences is our sports sciences, or where they're located. And so if you're in athletic training, sports management, you'll kind of find some of your classes being over in that building. I'll let Steve touch a little bit more on the sports sciences.
Yeah, this over here, the building that you see right here in front of us, that's the backside of what we called Austin Picket. That's the first year housing for all freshmen that live in. Over 400 students could live in that dorm. We have 1 bedrooms, 2, and there is a couple 3 bedrooms that are in there. But that's for students for their first year freshman living style. After that, they have a choice of they go by a point system if they want to live into another dorm, or if they want to live in an apartment, and they look at those points based off your GPA, involvement that you're involved with the college, athlete, things like that. And you'll notice, and as we go through here, this is one of our apartments over here. A little bit. This is our Greek letters that we have on here as well. We had Greek housing. But they actually tore those down, and the Greeks are living over, some of them are living in apartments now. So they was able to put their Greek letters up so they could still show that support in the college. All right. So now I'm going to go back to our slideshow. All right. Just to tell you a little bit about Wilmington College by the numbers. We do have over 1,100 students on our main campus. We have 2 campuses. We have one, our main campus in Wilmington, Ohio, and we have another campus that's in Cincinnati. That's more for like adult learning, older classes for students that take. Our student to ratio faculty is 18:1, which is a pretty good number to have for a college. Our average class size is anywhere between 20 and 25 students. This year during COVID, it is a little bit different. Our class sizes have shrunk a little bit to 10 to 15 students per class. Because we have separated students, separated classrooms, put it in different areas that we normally wouldn't have classes in, because we want students on campus. One thing that we learned last year when all colleges, not just us, but all colleges shut down and had to go to virtual learning, is that 85% of our students said they did not want to do online classes. So that's something that we really took to heart, because we're known for our hands-on learning, hands-on living. So we said we want to make sure we're in a safe environment so we can have students here on campus taking classes. So we've shrunk those classes down and we put them in different areas and spread them out. We even have classes taking place in our theater. That theater can house over 300 people, so we have 30 people a night, so they're socially distanced, so it's in a safe manner. And all of our students are doing a great job by wearing their mask and really, policing each other and making sure that, everyone's taking the great precautions. We have over 25 majors and 27 minors here at Wilmington. Our top 5 majors that we have is education, agricultural, athletic training, sport management, and business. Some of those are nationally recognized as well, known programs that we are known for. But all of our programs here that we do are the hands-on learning, hands-on living. So that's every program you go into. Education, you're in a classroom right away. You're assigned a classroom, you're teaching on that Tuesdays and Thursdays. Business, you're assigned a business. Sport management, you're doing events outside and inside. With ag, we have a 267-acre farm. Students are going to our farm that is a farm for students to go to and work and actually learn. So it's a learning farm. Athletic training, our students are assigned a team right away where they're going in, and being able to work with the team and knowing what to do. So we have over 21 different intercollegiate sports teams as well. And like Jess said earlier, 49% of our students are student athletes. So everyone that you come in contact with, at least half the student body is playing either one sport or 2 sports. And we also have over 60 different clubs, organizations. We have intramural sports that are really big. So those are some things that, that we really put out there for our students. Quaker faith, although we are Quaker affiliated with the Quaker Church, you don't have to be Quaker to come to Wilmington, but we still have those values that we live by. Peace and social justice, equality, community, things like that. One thing that we definitely do on campus with that is that we don't use any titles. Everyone goes on a first name basis. So what that means is that every professor and doctor that you meet with, they're going to go by their first name. They are not going to have you call them by their title. They're going to say, okay, you just call me Bob, whatever my title or name may be. So it makes the student feel comfortable that way. The enrollment process. Talk to you a little bit about the enrollment process. These are some things that we need to do that. We do offer a free application online at wilmington.edu/apply. If you go there, the application takes 10 to 12 minutes to apply. And we just ask for some common things. We definitely want your high school transcript. We are also on the Common App as well. If you've already went through the process and you applied to the Common App, definitely add us to it. But one thing that we do ask is that don't do both. If you've applied already online and then you want to do it on Common App, don't do that because it'll interfere with your application. Just do one or the other. Common App, like I said, if you went through the whole process, go ahead and add us. Our app, or you can go to our website. And we do want to see an official transcript and ACT and SAT scores if scores are available. And I'll talk about on the next slide about being test optional. Admission requirements. Our average student profile is a 3.4 GPA, and our average ACT, and these are last year's, was a 22 and an SAT of 1120. Like I said, we are test optional this year. So what that means is that if you have a GPA of a 275 and above, we'll consider your admission based on your high school transcript. More than likely, you're going to get an automatic acceptance, but if you have taken the test, we want to see the test scores so we can see if there's an upgrade for you on that. But at the time, we'll give you 24 hours to get those to us. If not, then we'll go ahead and accept you off your transcript. And then you have until June 1st to be able to get any upgrades on that. If you're under a 274 GPA, we are going to require you writing a personal statement demonstrating your ability to be successful at Wilmington College. If your tests aren't available. But if you do have a test available and you're under 274, submit those scores to us so we can make a decision at that time. Things that we're looking for when we're reviewing files, grade progression. We definitely want to see how well you've done from freshman year all the way up into your junior year, because we understand that students do struggle a little bit when they first enter high school, their ninth grade, maybe their sophomore year. And then they start getting a little bit more serious at the end of the sophomore and junior year because they're thinking about college now. We understand that. We want to see how that grade progress. We want to see if you started off bad and you start doing better, or vice versa. Absentees and tardiness. This is something we do look at. I remember, when I was in high school and my guidance counselor was telling us, was like, hey, they look at that on college, application. At the time, I was like, yeah, whatever. They just want us in school. But no, that's very true. We do look at that. If you missed over 13 days of school in a school year, we're going to ask for you to write us a statement why. There may be some things behind that scene that we don't know. Maybe, you were sick, a family member was sick, there was something going on. We don't have to know in detail, but if you just give us a brief description of what was going on, then we can look at that as well. If it's just something where, you're like, hey, I missed it because I didn't want to go to school, then that's when we have a different conversation, because when you're in college, it's on you to go to your classes and it's very important to go. So we want to look at that. College prep courses, any CCP, AP classes, definitely we want to look at those. We will take credits, 65, 65 or less. We take all credits because a lot of students come in with a high school diploma and also an associate degree at the same time. So if you're taking a lot of CCP classes, we will take 100% of those as long as they're C and above and they're 100 course or above for college courses. So definitely check with your counselor on that. Like I said, even though that we are test optional, we are still going to want to look at the ACT and SAT to determine, what your academic scholarship could be. So submit those as well. Counselor report, have your guidance counselor write something, on your behalf. We look at that as well. Teacher recommendation. If we ask for a personal statement, have a teacher write something. Maybe it's an English teacher, it's a history teacher, something like that. Have them write a recommendation on you. You can even have a coach do it as well, because we want to see those. We like to read those. Estimated tuition and fee this is for our 2021 and for next year. So our tuition is $26,400. Be it a private school, we are a little bit more than what a state school would be, but this isn't the cost that you would pay. So I always like to explain that, because our $26,400 is our tuition. That's for a student living off campus coming to Wilmington College. Our fees, we have over $1,000 of our fees that's included with that. That's a health fee that we have, student activity fee, and a technology fee that's included with that. Room and board. Our room and board is $10,100. Standard room, our meal plans and all that. One thing I just realized is that this estimate is actually worth $39,400. So that screen was wrong. Award and circumstances. These are things that we award you at the time. On your application, if you indicate on your application that you qualify for one of these, you will be awarded for that. So a multicultural, you get $2,000 each year. So that's an award that you would get. A gateway, if you live outside the state of Ohio, you get $2,000 each year as well. And that's renewable every year. Legacy, so if you have mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, that come to Wilmington College, put that on the application and we'll look that up and you get a legacy for that. If you're Quaker affiliated, $2,500 each year. Talent award is $1,000 that we'll give the student as well. That's a band. If you want to be in the pep band, we're having a marching band that's going to be starting. The Scout Award, if you're involved in Boy Scouts and you're going all the way through and got your Gold Award, your Eagle Scout, we look at that. Equestrian, equine, that's our IHSA. That's if a student wants to participate in being on the riding team. We have that as well. That's $1,000 per year. Our WC Scholars Program, this is something for students that have a GPA of a 3.5 or better and a 25 ACT or better. We'll invite you to the Scholars Program. This year, it's a little bit different than our previous years. You have an option to come either on campus or you have an option to do a virtual event with that too. So what we do is that a student that qualifies for this normally has a $14,000 academic scholarship. Well, just for registering and showing up for the event, you'll upgrade to $16,000 for a faculty honors, but you have an opportunity to get a dean scholarship. We give 30 of those away a year, and that's $20,000 per year. Or a presidential, that's full tuition paid. We give 10 of those away a year too. So if this is something that you may qualify for, your counselor will work closely with you to go over these with you. Timeline for seniors, admission first. So make sure that you apply, get us your application, get us your transcripts, get everything in, visit the college. That way we could talk with you and show you the campus, talk with students, talk with professors, talk with coaches. Financial aid has already started in October. File a FAFSA. Your parents will be filing for the 2019 tax year, putting those forms in, but they have until April to do that. And it goes beyond. We have some students that come in a later date that want to do that, but the earlier the better because we started awarding those package in early December. December 31st, that's early deposit incentive. That's $100 for a housing deposit and $100 for an enrollment deposit. So it's a $200 total if you're living on campus. I always tell my students to pay the enrollment first, and then you can pay your housing later. But that's once we go over your financial aid packet and go everything, or if you're 110% ready for Wilmington College, pay your deposit. We definitely want you to do an early deposit. May 1 is our enrollment deadline. That's when all colleges are looking for a student to know if they're coming to the college. So we're going to be in contact with you, mom and dad, making sure that Wilmington College is the place that you want to come. And if it is, we definitely want you to go ahead and have that deposit in, get the progress started. Because May 1 is going to be the beginning of our class registration housing process. That's where a student will fill out a FERPA form, a major declaration, what major they're going into, and a housing application as well. So you can start getting rooms with another person. June and July is our summer orientation. So everything starts moving fast from this point. This year has already gone fast. It's going to go faster, for some students. But June and July, summer orientations where we'd have you on campus and register for classes, meet other students coming in. August is our fall orientation move-in day. That's the time where our students will definitely come in, move in, meet the roommates, meet the families of their roommates, go through the whole orientation process, and you move in. And then that happens on a Thursday. On that Monday is when classes begin. So it is a fast process from here. Financial aid timeline. Now is a good time to seek some outside scholarships. And you can go through fastweb.com, collegeboard.com, and there's some other sites that you can definitely Google and look at. One thing we always say don't recommend is paying for anything that you have to find that will find scholarship for you. Just use all the free sites. September through November, apply for admission, establish that FAFSA login info. October through April, complete the FAFSA, receive the financial aid packet. January through April, WC will send financial aid packages. That's when we start talking to those about you knowing what your out-of-pocket cost is, any loans that you may have to apply for, things like that. One thing about us is us counselors, we're also financial aid counselors as well. So we cover that from start to beginning with you. April, you visit college. I don't know if we're going to have it, just depends on how everything goes, but we normally in April, we have our student acceptance day. It's a great day for students to come. meet with other students, meet with families. And that's when they, students that haven't made a decision or have not made a decision yet, but have been accepted, they get there, and it's a day for you. It's a special day for you to come and just celebrate, Wilmington College. Decide by May 1st. May 1st is when we like to know, hey, Wilmington College is the place I'm coming. That way we can get the registration and everything started from there. That's it for my presentation. Now Jess and I are opening it up for any questions. But if you have any, if you need to contact us, you can contact us at admissions@wilmington.edu, or you can go to our website at wilmington.edu. Click on admissions, click on meet my counselor, look through the different areas of counselors that you have. Definitely click on them and email. You can email us. You can do a Zoom meeting if you want to do a Zoom meeting with individual counselor. You want us to have maybe a professor on or a coach or something like that. We can definitely do that. But now I'm going to let it. Jess, do you have anything to say or anything to add?
I think I'm good. You covered a lot of information, so I'm ready
Okay.
for questions.
All right, we're ready for some questions if anybody's in there.
All right, well, I don't see any questions come in on our Q&A. So I want to thank Jess and Steve for presenting today for Wilmington College. Make sure if you have any questions, you reach out to them at that contact information. At the end of this session, there will be a quick survey. Also, remember to schedule more events at oacac.org, and this recording can be viewed again at oacac.org. Thank you guys so much for everything today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.